Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and I have got a new pattern release for you guys. It is a really good one and I can't wait to talk you through it. But before we get into that, quick little announcement. If you're a newsletter subscriber, if you're not, you should be. We send out one newsletter each week. We've got discount codes in it. We've got fun, interesting information, links, all sorts of fun stuff in the newsletter each week. But if you are a newsletter subscriber, you may have noticed that some of the links that we've been sending you over to have gone to a Tomcat Stitchery blog. Yes, blog. So Jenny is the mastermind behind the blog, everything, is turning a lot of the videos into blog posts, mostly as a way for you guys to easily be able to find links and all sorts of that kind of stuff, you know, for the patterns I talk about, the fabrics I talk about, if there's any discount codes that I've got, all that kind of stuff, to have a landing place easy for you guys to look at. While all this stuff is in the description box of all the videos, I know a lot of, well, studies have shown that most people are watching YouTube videos on their television now, and you can't get to a description box when you're watching it on TV. So just a really easy place to go to get those links and that sort of thing. Also, way easier to search, and the YouTube videos are embedded in the blog as well, so like it plays on YouTube but through the blog, way easier to search. So if you are remembering, oh, Whitney did a technique on ... so much easier for you to search our website and the blog, and that will pop up, and the video that goes along with that also pops up, than trying to search on YouTube. The search function on YouTube sometimes works, but sometimes not, especially older stuff. And while our plan is to have all the videos going forward over there on the blog, most of them, you know, like a plans video that I may throw up there probably won't be a blog post, but videos like this will all be a blog post. It makes it real easy for you guys to go and search. And again, we may go back and do some of the older videos as blog posts, especially the tutorials and that sort of thing, but you'll have to wait and see on that one. That's, you know, a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So kudos to Jenny for putting that together. I will leave a link to the blog down in the description box below if you'd like to go have a peek around. So we did kind of a soft launch on it, and Jenny's been trying to put a few different posts up so that there is multiple things for those of you that are interested in reading that. So anyway, very exciting, something for you guys to go over and check, and you can absolutely check that at any time. And again, you can watch the videos through those blog posts as well. So just something to keep in mind. All right, let's talk about this is the newest Kashmir Club pattern. Now, that means that for July of 2025, you can join any of the tiers of the Cashmerette Club and get access to this pattern. So the very bottom tier of, the very base tier of the Cashmerette Club will get you this pattern, and the price of that is the price of what you would pay for a pattern anyway. Anyway, and then you could cancel at the end of the month if you didn't want to continue on, or if you are watching this after the month of July, you will have to have the top tier, which is the all access tier, to get access to this pattern. However, I have a code that will get you $10 off the all access tier for the first year. And it is in the, well, Tomcat 10, get you $10 off the all access tier of the club. But I also have coupon codes that are over on the website under the resources page. So tomcatstitchery.com/resources. If you're wondering anytime, like, oh, I'm pretty sure she has a code for that, and this is a standing code with Cashmerette. So you can now, it's not just a one-time type thing like it was for a while, it's now a standing code with them. So you can, if you ever forget, you can always go over to the website under resources and find the coupon codes there as well. Okay, so that's how you get a hold of this pattern. This is the Cashmerette Thorndike tank, and it is a woven tank that comes in two lengths. It comes in a cropped length, of which I've made here, as well as like a hip length. It is so good. So it features French darts, and what a French dart is, it's a dart that starts a little bit lower on the side seam and then kind of comes up at an angle towards your bust point. It has bias finishing for the armhole facings, a facing finish on the neckline that gets top stitched down so it's not flapping around everywhere. The hem gets finished off with a really beautiful facing. And then it has got a really beautiful keyhole neckline, back neckline opening to get it on over your head. That gets closed with a little button and a thread loop. So it is absolutely a beginner-friendly pattern. I have got a sew-along that is going up today as well for this. So if you want a little bit of hand-holding, absolutely, you're going to want to go check that out. And anyway, I filmed the sew-along with this one. This is the sew-along version, hence the, if you can see the contrasting thread here, because I want people to be able to see it. But anyway, and I'm totally going to wear this. And I chose this with the contrasting thread to make it kind of a feature so that I will wear this in my regular wardrobe, which isn't always the case for my Cashmerette sew-alongs because I have to use contrasting thread and sometimes it doesn't work, but I think it works with this. So anyway, I have a full sew-along on the channel that will walk you through this step by step. But after I had made this, I cut out this version. And I had this made up, not counting cutting out. So I cut out one day, fused the interfacing, and then when I sat down to actually sew it, I made this entire thing in 45 minutes. So, and it's a woven top. So it absolutely is a quick sew and very beginner friendly. So let's talk a little bit about, comes in all the sizes. Comes from the size 0 up to the 32, all the cup sizes as well. I made the size 10 with the GH cup. A lot of times with Cashmerette, I do the 10 with the GH and grade out to the 12 at the waist. Because this is cropped, I didn't. I just left it the size 10. Honestly, I would probably have a little bit more. It's not tight in my midsection at all. Like I could definitely have positive ease that's around there. But it might be just a little bit boxier as intended had I actually graded out to the 12 right there at the waist. Since this goes down just past my waist, it kind of, it's cropped for a 45-year-old woman. I don't need to have cropped like my daughter wears cropped, but yeah, cropped where it just kind of sits at the top of my pants. Anyway. But I did do the straight size 10 with the GH cup on both of these. And again, they work fine, but it probably would be just a little bit boxier had I graded out to the 12, which my measurements do indicate I should be doing. So just keep that in mind. I'm a 10 and then a 12 at the waist and I go back to a 10 at the hips. Most of the time when I'm doing pants or skirts, I'll just leave it, or especially if it's like a one piece, I'll just leave it at the 12 at the hips, especially if it's a swingier skirt. But yeah, that's the size that I make in Cashmerette patterns. Okay, let's talk a little bit about fabric on this because there is so much that I think you can do with this pattern. So this version, this is a linen blend, an embroidered linen blend that a dear friend of mine sent me. Thank you, Cecile. And I think it works out perfectly for this little top. I am planning on wearing it. Well, you're going to have to stay tuned to the middle of the month to find out all the ways I'm planning to wear it. But for the most part, wearing it with shorts, I mean, the shorts that I've got on, these are my Belize shorts, linen pants, jean shorts, skirts. There's so many different ways that you can wear this. And I really like the way the cropped version hits me because I could do a bias cut skirt if I wanted like a tight fitting skirt. I think that would be really cute. I could do a gathered skirt that is, like an elastic waistband. I think that would be really cute, just as long as it gives me some definition at my waist where showing that I do go in. But I loved a little cropped top. It kind of reminds me of, I really enjoyed the Closet Core Cielo once I got the fitting adjustments made on that for me. Really like where that hits, and this reminds me of that, but a tank version instead of something with a sleeve. So anyway, I have a feeling there's going to be so many of these in my future. In fact, I may have this on my cutting table again to cut out a really cute embroidered top, and I'm going to put scallops at the bottom. So stay tuned for that. That'll be showing up here soon. If you're in my membership, then you followed along with that journey. But anyway, that is, yes, it's super easy pattern, super fun. This version, I have had this navy and white linen gingham from the fabric store down in New Zealand for ages. I had 2 meters of it and I just have not had a chance to make it up. I made 2 things out of the yardage that I had, or meterage that I had, but this was one of the things that I made out of it and I am obsessed. I love this so much. Number one, I just love the linen from the fabric store. It's just, it washes so well and it just feels nice. It's nice and rumpled. I don't want it creased, but nice and rumpled. I find very comfortable. I'm going to be wearing this all summer and into the fall. I mean, guarantee. Anyway, I think I did pretty good pattern matching on my side seams. It gets a little hard, and keep this in mind if you're doing something with a pattern. It is never going to match up above the dart because I have pulled fabric away. So the idea is that for it to match up at the bottom, and then at the dart, it's just going to go kind of cockeyed, especially with the French darts here. But that doesn't bother me at all. If you would like help in pattern matching, whether you have trouble pattern matching plaids or checks or stripes or large scale prints, I do want to remind you I do have a class on how to do that, one of my mini courses on how to do that, and I'll leave that down in the description box if you're interested. But yeah, if you want a little help with making sure that your prints match across seam lines and that sort of thing. This is an easy top to do because really you just have your side seams. Something that I was thinking about, I did a pop of color on my button too. This is another thing. I have a whole bunch of like one-off buttons. This does lay flat. My mannequin's smaller than I am. One-off buttons that I've just saved. And so I love projects like this when I can find a fun color of a one-off button and stick it on there. So I think that's really fun. But one of the things when I was sewing this that I thought would be a lot of fun is because you have got the facings that go around the entire neckline here in the back. Well, here. It's easier to see on this one because I used contrasting ones. Because you've got these, the neckline facing that's here at the back neck and these bias finished armhole facings and even the facing at the hem, I was thinking it could be a lot of fun, especially if you're doing something like a gingham, if you cut those pieces on the bias and instead of sewing those to the wrong side of your garment, sewing those to the right side. So there is a technique, there's three different ways you can finish off your facings and the sew along and in the pattern. One of which is a clean finish, which has you actually sewing your inner facing to the facing, trimming real close, and then turning it right side out and then fusing it, which gives a really nice crisp finish to that edge of that pattern piece. But if you finished it off on the right hand side, I just think that could be kind of cool to give a little something different. Or you could do the next facing as is, but finish off your bias armholes on the right side instead, and maybe do the hem facing on the right side, or you could use a contrasting color. I was just thinking about that as I was sewing this up pretty quickly, that would be a lot of fun to do. It would also, I had my little embroidery journey that I've been going on with the embroidery module on my Bernina sewing machine, and I think it could be really fun. You could embroider the whole facing on the hem of this and then sew it, right side out, so you have like an embroidered hem along the bottom. You could do something similar with the neckline, but the hem would be really easy because it would just be straight, across. Anyway, I feel like I can think of a lot of ways that this could be really cool. All right, let's talk about fabric a little bit. So this is meant for lightweight woven fabrics, and they recommend, your cotton shirtings, your linens, your cotton lawns. I think that this could absolutely work in a quilting cotton if you wanted to go that route, like more of a cotton poplin, because it is structured, and if you've got like a real fun print that you want to use, this is really great for like offcuts, like if you've got enough scraps from another project that you want to cut something out, because you could use different fabric for all of the facings and stuff if you wanted to, so you really just need to be able to cut out the front and the back in the fashion fabric. So it makes it a great scrap buster. But I think a lightweight denim, like if you wanted to use a 4-ounce, maybe even a 6-ounce denim, would be really, really lovely in this. What else? I think you could even go drapier. If you wanted to do a rayon or like a rayon twill, it's going to give it a little bit of a different look because that kind of fabric has more drape to it, but I think it could still be really, really beautiful. Silk would be stunning. You could use a structured silk like a dupioni or a raw silk or shantung that would give you more of that structured look. Or you could go a little bit drapier and you could do a charmeuse if you wanted to, or a crepe de chine, depending on how crazy you want to get. But again, great for smaller cuts of fabric. So if you do have a special piece of fabric that you maybe didn't buy as much because it was really expensive or whatever the case may be, this is a lovely little project for those. I really want a lot of these. I just feel like I could wear these all summer long. I will definitely be wearing these two all summer long, and probably my third one that that's on over on my cutting table right now. Stay tuned. But absolutely a phenomenal sewing pattern. I highly recommend it. I want to make them all. And again, perfect for transitioning into the cooler weather. So if you are one of those that like to get a head start on the changing seasons, if you're starting to do any fall sewing or that sort of thing, perfect for transitioning into fall. You throw a jacket over this, a cardigan, and yeah, I mean, both of these pieces could very easily go into the fall, especially when you have those days that are like still hot, but you want to be a little bit more fall weather appropriate. I think that these could transition into that type of weather really easily as well. So if you have been looking for a woven tank pattern, I think I found it for you. Absolutely love this. Again, this is the July pattern of the month for the Kashmir Club. However, any of the tiers, if you're buying it in July of 2025, any of the tiers will get you access to this pattern. If it's after July of 2025, you will have to have that top tier, that all access tier, of which I have the all access tier, and you get so much more than just patterns. You get lives, you get meetups, you get classes, you get all coupon codes, all sorts of stuff with the Cashmerette Club. I have been a member for a couple of years now, and I pay for it with my own money. This is not something that's gifted to me. It is something that I do pay for every year. So yeah, I really, really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite clubs to belong to. And I belong to a couple, but one of my favorite ones. All right, guys, that is all I've got for the new Cashmerette Thorndike. Don't forget, I do have a sew along on the channel now for this, so if you'd like some hand holding as you sew up your own, go have a look at that as well. Okay, that is all I've got for today. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. I will see you again on Friday, and if you are in the United States, it is 4th of July, but I am pre-recording a video so that I will be able to still come at you on Friday, even though it is a holiday here in the United States. Okay, guys, that's all I got for today. I hope you get some sewing in, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!